Team of Fluent Artists, what's happening? We are live. Come in, type your name, where you from in the chat, and I'm gonna share my screen. We're gonna get right into it, man, because you are here. You want to sell some art online in any economy. So let's show you how it's done. All right. Let me I got my chat up over here in the comments. All right, I'm gonna share my screen now. Well, let me know if you can see my screen. Hold on, let me stop there. Let me share again. All right, look like it's sharing now. All right, how you want to type your name, where you from in the chat? All right, so you're here right now because you want to sell your art online in any economy, all right? Tiara, she sold that $2,000 piece right there, Galactic Jellies. Jasmine, we're going to talk a lot about her story, about how she was able to sell over $15,800 in only 20 days in a month. Type yes in the chat if you like to sell over $15,000 in 20 days. Also, Jasmine, she was rolling. When she wanted to go full time, she told me that she needed to make $5,000, and she ended up making over $5,500 in the first week. Man, Tiara taught her kids how to sell art right there. You see King Art got his cash on the table. $2,000 sale with Jonte. $350 sale, Jasmine right there. I see visual. Jason from Ohio, what's up? This is Janice from North Carolina. Another $2,000 sale right there. You see we got the cash on the table. Miss Tasha sold this piece for over $1,000. And so if you're here right now, you want to sell your art online in any economy, you are in the right place. And we're going to show you exactly how to do this, okay? Because these artists are just like many of you that just getting started. I see you with my brush with the eyes. They were just getting started online, and they are selling consistently, okay? So type yes in the chat if you like to have collectors coming to you automatically. All right, just type yes in the chat if you like collectors coming to you from automatically. Jennifer from Illinois, love your name with my brush. All right. And so Mr. Nitra, she sent me a message in the middle of the night. She said, Sharess, I truly apologize. And normally I wouldn't send a message this late, but I couldn't hold back the excitement. 19 total collector opportunities and 2 scheduled collector calls. All right. And then she sent the message the following day. She said, by the way, your girl is up to 37 leads, 3 collector appointments, and a lot of great comments about what inspired them to get the download. Okay. And so this is the system that we're using that we call the automated collector system. We're going to show you how you can implement this in your art business. What's up, Rebecca from Orlando? Is it Gianni from Wichita? All right. And then my friend Jasmine, the fluent artist Jasmine, I want to share a little bit about her story. She said, let me put this in perspective for you guys. For years, I gave away my art for free. I joined the Fluent Artist January last year. 1 year ago, I was still selling most of my original art for $200, and my biggest sale this time last year was $500 to a hospital. This month, if I make no more money for the next 10 days, I would have total to make $15,800. I am floored. I never thought this was possible for me. All right. Type yes in the chat if you like to sell over $15,000 worth of art in only 20 days. All right. We got different artists at different skill levels, different years in your career, right? Some of y'all might have never sold art. You might have never sold it in a long time. Some of you might be selling art sometimes, but not consistently, but you're ready to lock in and be consistent. I see the yeses coming through, the yes with all the S's. I love when y'all put the 3 A's and the 3 S's. Let's get it, all right? So if you're here right now, my goal is simple. I want to help you become an affluent artist. And so if you are a new artist, you'll get a step-by-step blueprint on how to create art that sells itself on Instagram so you can become an affluent artist that collectors love to buy and tell everyone about. If you are a master artist among us, you'll get the affluent artist secrets on how to smoothly transition to selling your art online at higher prices, keep more of your money, and get that worldwide recognition and status that you deserve from the art industry, okay? Then every affluent artist gets access to the brand new artwork app that makes it simple to sell your art and keep collectors buying over and over again. Black Art Love Hill, love the name. All right, so this new opportunity is the key to your desire to consistently sell art online, and it's only achievable by becoming an affluent artist. And so if I help you become an affluent artist so you can make more money selling art, will you promise to spend a little bit of that with me and my company in the future? Just type yes in the chat. I see you, Rebecca. What's up? Amazon Warrior Empress. Prism Production, let's get it. Jason Flakes, what's up, Jason? Love your art, man. I checked your stuff out earlier. Incredible artist, Jason. All right, so my name is Sharess, and like many of you, I've been an artist my entire life, okay? But when I was in college, well, let me back up. Young Suresh right there at the top left. I love art. I've been an artist my whole life. Man, I always loved drawing, painting. I started out drawing like the characters on the cereal boxes and all of the cartoons. Ninja Turtles were some of my favorite. Young Suresh in the bottom left right there, that's a self-portrait of my son and I that I painted for him on his first birthday. That's a birthday present to him right there. And then I'm also a hooper. So I played Division I college basketball, and I absolutely love playing basketball. And I know that's where my love for helping people and assisting folks come from as well. But when I was in college, listen, y'all, I didn't have any collectors, sales skills, you could forget about it. And then in 2007, my house burned down and I lost all of my art, man. And so I was really depressed. And I ended up becoming a starving artist dropout in 2007. And so as you can imagine, man, losing everything, like my confidence was low. It was still really hard to sell art and try to break into the art industry. And so I became obsessed with mastering business online. I'm like, man, I got to figure this out to figure out this new tool, the internet, right? And so I knew the first thing that I needed was a mentor, right? I was like, I can't try to figure this out on my own. That'll take way too long. And so I ended up writing a letter to 19 millionaires. And one of the first ones that responded was this gentleman by the name of Mike Kenix. And so Mike ended up hiring me and I helped him launch one of his products. And we ended up selling $1,800,000 in 7 days, okay? And so I was blown away that we were able to sell that much in that short little bit of time. And so I ended up writing a book about it. So I became a #1 best-selling business author of how to create lifetime customers, okay? And so this book is all about that process of how you can get customers online and sell millions of dollars worth of your product and service, okay? And so I've been recruited by celebrities like Cynthia Bailey to help her launch some of her product lines. And I've also helped a lot of creators just like you make money selling products and services on the internet. But even with all this success consulting, I mean, I still had dreams of being a full-time artist. Put me in the chat if you working a job right now and you want to go full-time with your art, right? Because that was absolutely me while I was helping all these other people launch their products and their services. And so then one day I had an epiphany. I'm talking to artists. I'm an artist myself. And I'm like, man, artists that are on that income roller coaster, you know how you making money some months, some of y'all is some years, and then you don't make much the next months or the next years. Like that simply means that you don't have a consistent flow of collector leads and sales, right? And so I was thinking, man, what would happen if I applied those #1 best-selling internet marketing and sales principles to fine art? And so I had a crazy plan. I was like, man, I'm going to host my very first art event and I'm going to set a goal to sell out the show. I was like, let me really put this marketing stuff to the test and see if it works for selling art. And so we did just that, man. We had an incredible event. This is me talking to one of the collectors right there. We had a bunch of enjoying the hors d'oeuvres and the wine, but most importantly, we were selling art. All right. And so at that very first event, I sold a piece for $2,000. Type yes in the chat if you want to sell a piece for $2,000 at your first or next event. Just type yes in the chat. I see the me's coming through. All right. And so this is my friend Melissa. All right. She's an affluent artist as well. And she was one of the artists that was at that very first event. And she sold out all of her art there. Okay. And she said, flashback to this dope Art Investors event by Sherez. All of these pieces sold and have already doubled in value. There go them yeses with all the S's. Let's get it. What's up, Rogue Smith? All right, Art Dealer Creation, what's happening? But while we having this good time, we selling art, I realized we had some very real problems. What's up, Tribe Called Cherry? Good to see you, family. All right. So first, doing it the old way, it cost me over $5,000 up front of my own cash, right? I know a lot of artists just ain't have $5K to be launching art events. Second, when we were selling art, we were using Cash App, Venmo, Zelle, PayPal, cash, really anything we could get our hands on the process of payment. And this left all of our art sales disorganized, all right? Everything was hard to track. Plus, we could not easily follow up with the collectors that had just spent thousands with us, all right? Creation Rubber say you love a hustling hard work. You know, that's my friend right there. She fam, all right? And so this experience inspired the affluent artist movement. So I couldn't find a solution. So I had to create a new way for you to have 100% unlimited access to your collector's information and a tool that makes everything easy to sell your art on and offline. Because as an affluent artist, you need one system that accepts payments up to $1 million. You should be able to easily sell your art anywhere, whether that's in person or online. Ideally, we can track our artwork, sales, and our collector's information in one place. And I like collectors to be able to buy our art with one click, like we buy stuff on Amazon, all right? And then we want collectors to be able to track their net worth in your art so they can see when you're increasing your value as an artist. And ideally, because I'm a marketer as well, I want to bring interested collectors to me, right? I don't want to chase nobody to sell art. I want people to come to me ready, willing, and interested to buy. And so back to the first art show results. Now, I did not reach my goal of selling 100% of the art, but we did sell 2/3 of the art. Most importantly to me, every artist made money, and we had sales of $500, $1,500, and we had one artwork sale for $2,000 at that very first event, all right? And so, man, then we took this show on the road. So I did that event in Atlanta, and a bunch of my friends that were here locally in Atlanta, they was like, yo, man, we going to Art Basel. We need some help selling out our shows, right? They're like, I don't want us to take all of this stuff down there. And I get back, I got to bring it all back to Atlanta, right? And so we went down to Art Basel, and I was consulting on helping them sell art. And I was amazed, man, because they art started selling really, really well, right? And I'm like, okay, so we got this event thing working really well. So I was like, let's see if we can do this online. And so I ended up, I got a small group of artists together, and I just started helping them sell their art, right? And so just using all of this internet marketing stuff that I had learned. And so Chris Smith, she was one of the first artists that I helped. And so she had a small email list of only 32 collectors. She sent out one email and sold 13 prints. All right, type yes in the chat if you like to send one email and sell 13 prints, all right, at whatever price point you sell your prints at. All right, and I was really blown away by that because she only sent one email. And that showed me the power of having an email list and just how important that was, okay? One email, 13 prints. Type yes in the chat. And then Santana, she got a $360 commission. Dwayne, he kept selling art. He said another one like DJ Khaled. All right. And so artists, listen, if you struggle, it's not your fault. I know many of you are self-taught. I went to college for art and design up in Chicago, and I had some incredible teachers. I was really inspired by my classmates, but with all of them art history classes, they ain't never teach us how to sell art. They never taught us about marketing art, selling art, how to create a collector community so you get collectors and build relationships with them. They didn't cover that in any of those classes, all right? Put a 1 in the chat if you went to art school and they didn't teach you how to sell your art, all right? So if you've been struggling, it's not your fault because they literally not giving us this information. They said that part, facts, you dig? So now we selling art. I'm like, okay, listen, I want to get collectors 24/7 on autopilot. But y'all, seriously, the solution was very hard and expensive to create. So I ended up blowing over $30,000 in my first year hiring 2 dev teams to create artwork, and they didn't even finish the app. Like we talk about that dev team scope creeping another time, all right? So I invested every penny to my name, and I thought about giving up. I see y'all with the ones and the eyes roll. I had thought about giving up, but I knew going back to the old way wouldn't work for me. I just did an art event. It was kind of chaotic. So I was like, man, let's try again. So I found a third dev team, and we got back to it, all right? And so the new artwork app and the automated collector system I created started working so well, many artists were selling art within 7 days, all right? And so one of my favorite stories is affluent artist Kira. Man, she was one of the youngest artists to join at the time. She was just getting out of high school. She was 18 years old, and she didn't have any experience really creating art, so she was new to that. It was always a passion inside of her, and she really wanted to be an artist instead of going to college. And so she actually sold the fastest piece to date. After we taught her how to sell, she made it sell in 19 hours, all right? Man, y'all show Kira some love in the chat. Just imagine if you were young and you learn how to sell your art at a young age, man. So I'm really proud of her. She holds the record for the fastest sale so far. And then affluent artist Z, he said, hey team, I haven't had a chance to report on my record-breaking success this past week. He ended up selling 7 prints and got deposits for 8 commissions in 1 week, all right? Type yes in the chat if you like to sell over 7 prints and get 8 commission requests in a week, like my man Z right here, all right? And then Jen, I think Jen is on live with us right now. Man, she's a single mother, and she sold a piece in a little over 24 hours, all right, when she first joined. So she said it took a little longer than 24 hours, but I have my first sale. It's amazing how much money I left on the table by not following up, all right? And so pro tip right here, if you got an email list of collectors or relationships with collectors, it can even be their phone number. If you're not following up with them to sell more art, you literally got a gold mine waiting on you to dig it, okay? And so Jen, man, she continued to work on her art business, and she actually went to Art Basel and she sold this piece Breakthrough 2 to these wonderful collectors right here for over $5,840, okay? And then Jen, man, I'm so impressed with her and grateful that she's a part of our community and a personal friend of mine. She also went to London to learn from Sotheby's and Christie's at their Art Business Institute of Art. Type yes in the chat if you like to learn from Sotheby's and Christie's and how they're selling billions of dollars worth of art every year in the auction game. Just type yes in the chat. All right. So Jen went over there to learn that wisdom, and she can share with us as well, man. All right. And so listen, this is the truth, y'all. After creating artwork and helping all kind of artists around the world transform into affluent artists, I realized we no longer had to wait for galleries to accept us or wait on word of mouth to sell art or already have a big following on social media. So that old way of being a starving artist was dead. All right, we done with that. All right. That's why I named this community Affluent Artists. And so if you want to be a full-time successful artist, this is your golden ticket. All right. I see the heck yes, my man Jason. Rogue Smith, yes. Art Dealer Creations, yes. Isan, what's up, Isan? Yes, with all the S's, let's get it. All right. And so now, in order to do this, though, I need something from you. And it's one simple word. That's belief. All right. I will give you the solutions to become a full-time affluent, but you have to believe you can and put it into action, because nothing hurts me more than giving you the game, then seeing you weeks, months, or years later clinging to the same starving artist problems. Okay. And so if you want to be like Brescia Jones, where you setting sales goals and you actually exceeding them, type yes in the chat. Okay. She said for the first quarter of this year, I set a goal to make $12,000. She's super happy that she made over $13,000 instead. Okay. Type yes if you want to start setting sales goals and actually surpassing those sales goals like Brescia Jones. She said, keep going, motivation affluent artists. Okay. Now, because of this success that we were having, man, some senators from the country of Barbados actually flew me into the country to help those artists access a global marketplace of collectors. Okay. And so in Barbados, they rely heavily on tourism. And so when the pandemic was around us, people stopped traveling. And so the money for the artists dried up. And so they brought me in. And I spent the week out there teaching those artists how to sell on artwork and just how they can make more money, man, because they were literally kind of trapped due to what was happening in the world. And so then after that, I actually got invited to speak at BlackRock on investing in Black art. And if you don't know, BlackRock is one of the world's largest asset managers, and they have over $10 trillion in assets. And so we got relationships with collectors that actually truly look at your art as an investment. All right. Type yes in the chat if you want to have relationships with collectors that have $10 trillion in asset under management. Just type yes in the chat. All right. So that's what we're rolling with. Okay. All right. So now after 20 years in business and helping artists sell worldwide, man, type yes in the chat if it's your turn to get new collectors and sell your art online. I see the yes coming through. Let's get it. I see the hearts coming through. Yeah, there we go. Let's get to it. All right. So once you do 3 secrets, you'll have the keys to get new collectors online so you can accomplish your dream vision for your art. I see the yeses flying in. Yes, it's my turn. Yeah, Jason, you are dope, brother. It's absolutely your turn, man. All right. So Abrisha, using these secrets, man, she got over $5,008 sale from a new collector online. Type yes in the chat if you want to get over a $5,000 sale from new collectors online. All right. Man, y'all part of my screen share. It keep going away. I don't know why. We're going to keep rolling, all right? But type yes in the chat if you want to get over a $5,000 sale like Brescia Jones. And something funny about Brescia that I think is dope. She don't sell art for $5,000. She always put a little extra couple of dollars on the end. So her would be like $5,008. All right. So man, everybody be like Brescia Jones, man. Put your little few dollar tax on the end of that price. All right. So these are the 3 secrets to selling art online. Secret number 1, how to make your artwork speak for itself and sell for $2,000 or more on Instagram. So listen, I told you I went to Art Basel, and when I go to events like this, I generally have a hit list of people that I want to meet, right? So I'm doing the research, seeing who's who, and I'm going to them, introducing myself, and just like presenting what I want, asking the questions, right? And so I'm talking to all these experts, and I'm telling them my story, and they're like, "Well, Sharess, you haven't really sold art before. You dropped out of college. A lot of people don't really know your name. It's going to be difficult for you to really sell art for a lot of money, right? Put me in the chat if this sounds familiar. Like if anybody has tried to discourage you from your art dreams, okay? But when I went to Art Basel, like I was already helping artists sell art, so I knew better, right? I was on the other side of this already. And so if you've ever experienced this, listen, don't worry about it. I believe in your creative dreams. I see you, Amazon Warrior Empress, all right? So look, y'all have a little fun with me, man. Let's play a quick little game called Could You Do It Better? We got some incredible artists in here, man. Just type yes or no in the chat if you think you can do this better. Some of y'all are super dope, all right? So I just want to see. Ain't no right or wrong answer. Just type yes or no in the chat if you think you can do it better. I want to see some yeses coming through. I see a lot of y'all have tried to get discouraged as well, right? All right, I see some yeses coming through. All right, there we go. Prison Productions by Chanel. What's happening, family? All right, so this piece is titled Van Gogh Portrait of Dr. Gachet. All right. And so why is this piece famous, y'all? It is the story. All right. And when you create stories for your art, it has to touch your collector's emotions. Okay. And so I know in school, or in just general practice, like a lot of artists or a lot of teachers and just the leadership in the art world, they usually telling us to price our art based on time and size, right? I actually don't believe in those at all. And I don't think it makes much sense when you really think about it, right? So first, time. We all know as artists, the more time you devote to developing your craft, you get better, faster, and more efficient. And so when you think about it, it don't really make sense to charge less because it don't take me as long to do the work, right? That don't really make sense to me. And then size. We know wall art that hangs in people's home, like this Biggie piece behind me, actually can sell more for murals on the side of buildings, right? And so the way we sell art for higher prices is by creating your very own art story, right? Creation Rebel said the story is essential. The story is everything, my friend. All right, so get your pen and your pad. I'm gonna show you how to craft art stories the way that we do it, okay? And so I learned this lesson from my friend Melissa, right? So she was one of the artists at my very first art event. And so Melissa, man, she is a pro's pro, right? So you see she got her artwork set up beautifully behind her. She also creates wearable art, so she wears her art. And one thing that she did differently than all the other artists, she told stories for each one of the pieces that she sold. Like all the other artists, they put it on the wall, like they presented it beautifully. It was cool. They're incredible art. But Melissa had a story with every piece that she brought to the show. And this is how we made that sale for $2,000 at that very first event, okay? And so the collector, he didn't have a clue who she was. And so I was like, yo, man, you don't know Melissa. You don't follow her on Instagram. You don't know anything about her brand or her work ethic or anything. I was like, why did you invest $2,000 in an artist that you don't know anything about? And he simply said, Sharess, I think the art is great, but it was the story. It was the story, and I never, ever forgot that. And so if you had this problem like most artists where you posting and you're not getting sales, whether you getting like almost no engagement, little to no engagement, or if you got buku comments and likes and hearts and all of that stuff on your post, but you're not making sales, literally all you got to do is add your art story and your sales will start to roll in. So like Jasmine, she said, sold. I posted this piece that I'm still working on last night, and I sold a pre-order print 9 a.m. this morning. Gratitude, art story, and organic conversation building relationships really work, okay? So this is powerful. The art story is powerful. Like Miss Raquel, type yes in the chat. If you here to sell your first or next piece for over $1,000 or more, just type yes in the chat. Miss Raquel was so excited to sell her first piece for $1,000. I know some artists are just getting started. We like to celebrate all levels of success. All right, we're a family here, okay? And then like Brisha Jones, type yes in the chat. If you want to start selling art for over $6,200 like Brisha, I see them yeses flying through. What's up, Terrence? All right. And so let me read a little bit about what Brisha said, because this is how the story impacted her. And I'm also going to read what these collectors said. So she said, I'm really still speechless, but this is significant for a lot of reasons. One, this is the biggest and highest art piece I ever sold. So this was a 60 by 48, and it was her first time selling over $6,000, right? But listen to what the collector said. So she said, my husband and I had a hard week and an already pretty messed up year. I know we're not special in any regards. Everything seems hard right now for everyone. When my husband and I saw your painting, we first both said, wow, we love that. And then we talked about how it made us feel. Hope, moving out of our comfort zone, leaving a bad year and entering a new place, fearlessness. When we read your thoughts on it as well, it just seemed like we needed it in our home. Thank you for painting this beautiful piece. It will be the conversation piece of the many meals we share with friends as we embrace a new era in the world, one of expanding fearlessness, all right? Type yes in the chat if you see the power that Brisha Jones' story had on the collectors that made them want to buy this art at any price. Type yes in the chat if you see the power in that, okay? All right, and so get into the art star framework, okay? I see the hearts coming through. So A equals art star. Who's the art star in your art story? Who's the art star in your art story? Every story has to have a star, okay? And then R equals the role. What's the art star's role in your art story? Like, what are they trying to do? What do they want to accomplish? What do they want to become? All right, and this works for abstract art as well. You literally only limited by your imagination, okay? And then T equals the twist. What's the emotional twist in your art story, right? You want something to happen, all right? And so you think about like good movies, man, that have great plots and that are shot and written well, man, they have you on the edge of your seat with the twists and the turns about what's going to happen in the film, all right? And so we can borrow those elements and apply that to our visual art, all right? And so let me show you how Van Gogh used this simple art story framework to sell this piece for an astronomical price, okay? So first, who's the art star? That's Dr. Gachet, all right? What's his role? He's Van Gogh's doctor. That's simple enough. But then a fluent artist, what's the twist? The twist is the doctor may have killed Van Gogh, all right? And so y'all know people nosy. They love murder mysteries. Everybody was trying to figure out, yo, did Van Gogh like paint his last portrait of his killer, right? And so the results, this ended up selling for a record-breaking $82.5 million at Christie's, all right? That's millions with an M. All right, so I want to have a little bit of fun in the chat. So I know some of y'all are here, y'all just getting started. You might be trying to sell art for $100, $1,000. You might want to break into your first 5 or 10K sale. Some of y'all want to sell for 100K. But if you want to sell your art for millions like Sharess, put $82.5M in the chat, all right? Put $82.5M in the chat. Put your money bag emoji. You can put the smiley face emoji with the money tongue. Let me know in the chat if you want to sell millions with your art, okay? Because if other people doing it, listen, we can absolutely too, okay? I want to see that money. You can put the money bag emojis in the chat. Talk to me. There we go. Roll. A son, art dealers, 82.5. Man, if these folks can get black art, why you hide? Hey, we got a good group tonight, man. Y'all are dope. Let's get it, y'all. All right. So listen, becoming an affluent artist and creating your art story allows your art to truly sell itself for higher prices. Type yes if you can see how your art story helps you sell more art. My man Jason got all the dollar signs. Let's get it, brother. All right, type yes if you can see how your art story helps you sell more art. Let's go. I ain't being careful asking for these M's, Black Art Love. Try called Cherry with the dollars. Let's get it, y'all. All right, I see the yeses coming through. That storytelling is powerful, all right? So this works if you are a painter, a sculptor, if you do acrylic pouring, jewelry, photography, mixed media, digital art, even AI art. We just tested some AI art that's working. Drawings, ceramics, collage, furniture, clothes, murals, metalworks, wearable art. This works for all affluent artists at all prices, all right? And so again, I learned this from my girl, Melissa, man. Using the power of her art story, she sold 100% of her art at that event. And she was the only artist that told stories for every piece. And she was the only artist that sold out, all right? So make sure y'all take this note, man, and start using the power of your art story. Literally, if you start doing this one thing today, everybody put today in the chat. If you start doing this today, you can start selling more art. Just telling stories, all right? Everybody put today in the chat, all right? That's all you got to do, all right? Start telling stories with your art, man. Don't just post it and be asking people to send you a DM. All right, let's get it, y'all. All right, so let's get into these 3 secrets, all right? This is secret number 2, how to sell art to collectors that buy with one click on the new easy-to-use app, all right? So I got to tell y'all this story, man, because I couldn't believe this happened. And this piece represents a transformation in my career as an artist and also as a collector, right? So I'm a collector too. I live in Atlanta. I've been going to all the shows, buying stuff all the time. I might have seen some of y'all there, man. If y'all here locally, I know we had a lot of artists from Atlanta registered for tonight. But I ended up running to one of my old classmates from the College of Art and Design, and he invited me to his show, right? Thanks. Art Dealer said, dope. I thought it was fly too, right? He invited me to the show. So I go to the show and I see this piece and I love it, man. I'm like, I love the pastel colors. I love the hair. I love the part, the earrings, the profile, the expression on her face. Like, I thought this was really fly. And so when I stepped to my classmate, I got my business credit card in my hand and I'm literally like pressing this in his chest, like, yo, let me buy this piece. This man gonna tell me, he said, Sharess, I can't take your money. People usually cash at me. And like my top like the blew off, like the mind blown emoji, right? This dude literally turned down my payment, all right? Put me in the chat if you've ever had to turn down somebody's payment because you weren't prepared to process the order. Like, that was wild to me, okay? And that's what it really like inspired me to do what I'm doing right now, because this is really like literally the old, slow, hard, and expensive way to sell art. Like, so you turning down money, like we got to step our game up. So first, rule number one, everybody put get paid in the chat, all right? Everybody put get paid in the chat. We got to get paid, all right? We can't be turning down sales and only taking cash out. Everybody put get paid in the chat. You got to get your coins, all right? We can't be turning down money, all right? That's rule number one. I want to see some get pays in the chat. Let's go, all right? So if you can't take payments in 2026, man, you got to step your game up as an artist, okay? Ain't no judgment. We family here, but you got to raise your level up, okay? If we're using tools like Cash App, Venmo, Zelle, listen, these tools work to help you get paid, but certain collectors don't want to send you a $10,000 Cash App. Why? I don't get a receipt, right? If you don't deliver the art, I can't get my money back, right? So there's some issues that come with these payments, all right? They fine for smaller payments, but some collectors don't want to do business like this, okay? My man Tried Carl said rule number one, let's get it, all right? And then social selling. I put guilty in the chat. If you've ever dropped a photo of your art and said something like email or DM me for price, just put guilty in the chat, all right? Let's have some fun with it. I've been there, all right? I'll be the first one to say it. I see that happen all the time. You get straight crickets, okay? And then orders on paper, all right? I ain't gonna get you to tell on yourself if you still taking orders on paper in 2026, but you gotta raise your level though, all right? I see some friends being honest saying guilty, all right? And then applying and paying for shows. So listen, first, if you applying and paying for shows and it's working and you selling art, keep doing that. All right, that's working. All right. If something is working, double down on it. But listen, a lot of artists though, man, they rent out vans, they rent out trucks. You paying these booth fees, you going to set everything up, and then you don't sell nothing and you taking it all back home. That is not what's up. All right. So we got to get off of that too. All right. And then putting your art on a bunch of marketplaces, not getting any sales. A lot of y'all got one or two websites. You don't know if collectors coming. You're not getting no name, emails, phone numbers. You don't know how long they stand. All you know is you're not selling art, all right? And so I created artwork to help you solve all of those problems, all right? It is a really simple and easy tools where you can load your artwork. It's instantly added to a marketplace for a global audience of collectors to be able to buy it with one click because they got their credit cards on file. And it's simple and easy for collectors to track the value of your art, all right? And so when Tierra loaded her art to artwork, she said she got a notification. She was like 30 minutes ago, I got a notification that one of my pieces sold. Still in shock a bit at how quick the sale happened, but great way to end the night. Seriously, thank you, Sherez, for perfecting the app. It definitely is a game changer for us as artists, okay? And so I want to show y'all a quick artwork demo so you can see how simple and easy it is to use artwork. And we're also going to take you to the test marketplace to show you how simple and easy it is for collectors to buy your art with one click.
Hey, my name is Sherez May, and I want to give you a quick demo of the Artwork app. So the Artwork app does two very simple things, all right? If you are an artist, it allows you to sell your art, get collectors all over the world, and manage all of the most important key metrics in your business. And if you are a collector, it makes it simple for you to buy art with the click of a button and track the value of your art collection, all right? And so I'm going to show you the artist side of the dashboard first. Then I'll pause and take you to the collector side. So when you're logged in as an artist and you're on your sales dashboard, you'll see your gross revenue, how many pieces you sold, what's the average price, all right? And this sales graph will show you your sales over any amount of time. Right here, you can set a sales goal. If you set it for $100,000, if you made some sales today, that number will be in blue at the top. And this dial will show you how much you've made. We haven't made any sales today. This is our test account. And if you hover over it, you can see how many sales you made today. And it's really simple to add a new goal as well. Start making sales, you'll see your top sellers right here. So you see it by name, how many pieces you sold in case you have prints or multiples, and you'll see how much revenue you made from each piece. Right here under your new orders tab, you'll see your latest orders. And so you stay on top of what needs to be shipped out. Down here at the bottom, you'll see your top collectors. So you'll see them by name, how many people.
All right, 1 second. Let me reshare.
Hey, my name is Sherez May.
Let me reshare. Give me 1 second.
For latest orders. And so you stay on top of what needs to be shipped out. Down here at the bottom, you'll see your top collectors. So you'll see them by name, how many pieces they own in their collection, and how much money they've invested with you in your art business. All right. And then once you go to your artwork tab,
y'all gotta excuse me, man. I don't know why this screen share keeps stopping. We're gonna keep rolling. A little technical difficulty. I'm gonna start it back.
Hey, so on top of what needs to be shipped out. Right. Down here at the bottom, you'll see your top collectors. So you'll see them by name, how many pieces they own in their collection, and how they've invested with you in your art business. All right. And then once you go to your artwork tab, this is where you'll see all of the art that you have listed on the site, ready for sale, and also in the marketplace for collectors to buy with one click. So let's say you want to
pop that again. All right. Appreciate y'all patience, man. I'm not sure why this is doing this. We're going to try it one more time.
Hey, my name is Sharess May. I want to give you a quick demo of the artwork app.
I appreciate
my name is Sharess May right here. And once you click save, it'll save it. I'm just going to close that. If you want to email it to a collector, you can click share offer, enter your collector's email, send the offer. Email is already pre-written. They can click directly to the link and buy your art. If you like to copy a link, you can copy it as normal and send it via text message or share it on social media. And also, if you want to delete your product, it's very simple and easy to delete. As collectors begin buying art from you, you will see collectors in your dashboard. So you see all of the information right here, so you can contact with them and follow up with them and make future sales. If you click on their dashboard, you'll see a list of all of the art they purchased from you here. As your orders start coming through, you'll see your order and payment history right here. So you see if they were successful or failed transactions, all right, who bought it, the artwork, the purchase amount, and the date. And then as your money is being in transit to your bank account and deposited, you will also see your payouts here, all right? And so when you want to begin buying as a collector, all you have to do is click switch to collector, and it'll take you to the collection side of the marketplace, all right? And again, this is our test marketplace right here, but I'm going to pause for a moment to show you how simple it is to buy as a collector. So now I'm logged into the app as our test collector. And so you see when art is sold out, it'll be sold out in the marketplace, all right? And you can just scroll through the marketplace to check out all of the art that's available on the dashboard, all right? And so let's say if you want to buy something, it's very simple. You can click buy now, and we have your card on file. You can choose which card you want to use. If you need to add a new one, you can do that. But let's say we want to select this card. We click confirm order. And it's that simple, all right? It's purchased. And so now if you want to go check your collection, you can click collection, and it'll take you to your collection. You see we just purchased this one right here, all right? So you can see all of your active collection, and as you are buying from artists, you can also see the artists that you're purchasing artwork from, all right? So I'm going to go back to the marketplace real quick, and let's say if you want to add it to your cart, you can add it to your cart. So you want to get a couple in there. And you can easily check your shopping cart and go to the checkout page and buy all of the pieces at the same time. So it's a very simple tool for artists to sell their art, and also for collectors to buy, track the value of their collection as well. All right. Hope you enjoyed the presentation. Talk to you soon.
All right, I was being still, Black Art Love. You might have put me on something right there. All right. So, man, show me some love in the chat if you like artwork. I see Creation Rebel said make it seamless for collectors. Absolutely. I love that. Thank you. So, artists, listen, I'm going to ask a few FAQs. So you get to set your own price. We like to write our art story in the description so a collector sees it when they go to the product page. Artists, you will ship it directly to the collectors. You get paid fast too. Sales deposit in your account in 24 to 48 hours. And then artwork gets a small 10% commission, okay? And so again, I love to showcase all kind of artists that are just getting started, seasoned pros at all price points. And so Jen, she sold Purpose On artwork for $1,024. Tierra sold Bright Future for $179. Love those pastels in that piece. And then Christina sold Veil of Night, okay? And so then Magdalena, she said, I'm very happy I sold my first piece in artwork. Type yes in the chat if you want to sell your first piece in artwork like Magdalena. All right. Type yes in the chat. You want to sell your first piece on artwork like Miss Magdalena here? Okay. I see the yeses coming through. All right. So artists, now I've shown you how using the artwork app allows you to easily sell more art online and keep all of your prices, collectors, and business info in one place. Type yes if you can see how this saves you time, money, and makes it simple. I see the yeses coming through. All right. I see a question about protecting work. That's out of the scope of this class, but man, we do copyrights. That's the primary way that I protect my work. Okay. We can talk more about that in the community with all the other affluent artists. All right. All right. So I see the yeses coming through. Let's rock and roll. Now, artists, if you haven't taken a note now, man, make sure you get your pen and your pad out and take this note, because secret number 3 is a fan favorite. So it's how to attract the collectors spending millions on art with Sotheby's using Instagram and AI. Okay. And so after our first wave of affluent artist success, I knew I wanted to help artists get high income collect online. Okay. And we wanted to use AI and online ads to be able to do that. All right. And so I've seen artists struggling to make sales with their posts on social media and inside these, because, you know, you can be a really dope artist, get a lot of engagement, but those likes do not equal money in the bank. All right. And so, and we love friends and family sales, right? So Tiara, she sold this $2,000 piece Galactic Jellies to a friend. All right. And then Mr. Emmanuel, he sold his $500 portrait to a sister at his local church. Okay. And so we love friends and family sales, man, but sometimes they run out, right? And when friends and family sales run out, man, sometimes we need global exposure. All right. Put global in the chat if you want to sell your art to your city abroad, your state, all across the United States, or if you live in another part of the world and you want to be global with your art and your art brand. Just put global in the chat. I want to see who really trying to go big out here. All right. Just put global in the chat. I see you with the Black Art Love. I see some globals. Let's ride in. Okay. So because of my experience buying ads on social media, I knew there was only one place I needed to go to get ready to buy collectors, and that's on Instagram. All right. Now, Christy, she was brand new to this, man. Christy, when she first started, she was underpricing her art, selling stuff for $200. And so we had taught her to raise her price, man. And so she was feeling a little more confident, so she raised it a bit. And so when she started advertising online, she said, okay, I'm about to cry right now. On my own way of selling, I would have gotten $200 for this piece. It would take me a while to even get that. So I followed the steps of this course. I made an ad. She said she spent $1, $2, $3, $4, $5, $6, $7, and she sold a piece for $700, and it only took her a few hours to sell. All right. Now, if it makes sense for you to invest $7 in ads to sell a piece for $700 or more, whatever your price point is, put cents in the chat. CENTS, like dollars and cents. You can put the money bag emoji. If investing in ads to flip that into a $700 or more sale, if that makes sense for you, because that makes sense to me. Okay. That's a good return on investment. All right. I like to flip my money like that. If I can turn $7 into $700, you can have all the $7 I got. You dig what I'm saying? And so listen, artists, if she can do this, all y'all can do this. All right. Success leaves clues. Okay. She was brand new to this. And so Forbes, they wrote about when Sotheby's had a $363.2 million sale and the art market passing that first when the pandemic was around us. All right? I see that everybody say it makes sense to them. It makes sense to y'all. It makes sense to me. Okay. And so we saw also this Business Insider article. It said for now, the art world has gone digital, right? And for some, it's a good thing. And the sum is us. All right. The sum is the affluent artists. Okay. And so Artsy, which is an online art marketplace, said they had a 92% increase in e-commerce sales, and interest from galleries increased by 60%. All right. And so listen, when we log into Facebook and Instagram ads, I want to bring your attention to these two red boxes. All right. The red box at the top is location. So I'm in Atlanta, Georgia. Wherever you are in the world, I want you to start with your country. All right. You can advertise to any country that has Facebook and Instagram, but start with where you are because it's going to be easier on the shipping and the logistics. All right. Now, that second red box, it says Sotheby's. So we saw the Forbes article that says Sotheby's had a $363.2 million sale. Type yes in the chat if it makes sense for you. to put your art in front of those collectors that's spending millions at Sotheby's? Just type yes in the chat, because that makes sense for me. All right. If that makes sense for you, click that green create ad button in the top right. And it's going to take us to a spot called detailed targeting. All right. Everybody put financial in the chat. Man, we got a dope group tonight. Everybody put financial in the chat. Y'all engaged. Let's rock and roll, man. Put financial in the chat. All right. When you put financial into the detailed targeting section, it brings up the household income. We can target the top 5% of income earners that like Sotheby's. We could target the top 10% of income earners that like Sotheby's. We could target the top 10 to 50% of income earners that's already buying this art and spending millions at Sotheby's, okay? So put the mind blown emoji in the chat, put wow in the chat. Let me know how you feel it in the chat. If this is your first time seeing how you can target collectors that's spending millions on art using Instagram and Facebook. Y'all let me know in the chat, because I know this is news to a lot of artists. They don't know that you can do this. Everybody spends so much time organic trying to do stuff for free and build your following, and all of that stuff is cool, but that's the slow way. You literally can put on this financial layer and start putting your art in front of people with money. All right, let's get it, y'all. I'm gonna show y'all a couple more examples, okay? Success leaves clues. So here go Art Basel. We can target the Art Basel brand. It's just the tip of the iceberg. I'm just gonna give y'all a couple of examples, all right? Art Basel. So we know people, they spend money on flights, hotels, the food. You got to get a ticket to go to the convention center. And you got to buy the art, right? Not to mention all the investment around Art Basel. You still got to buy the art. So them people spending a lot of money to attend and experience Art Basel. Boom. If we want to target the collectors that like Art Basel and they're spending all that money to make that trip to go, if we go to the detailed targeting, type in that word financial, we could target the top 5% of income earners. We could target the top 10% of income earners that like Art Basel. We could target the top 10 to 50% of income earners that like Art Basel. My man Puzzle Master said, totally rad. Let's go, Puzzle Master. All right. I'm going to give y'all one more example. So we saw the Business Insider article said Artsy had a 92% increase in e-commerce sales, right? It makes sense for me to get in front of all them collectors that's going to buy at Artsy. So all we got to do, put in Artsy, we put in the financial layer. Now we can target the top 5% of collectors with the most income that like Artsy, the top 10% of income earning collectors, and the top 10 to 50% of income earning collectors, okay? And so when we do this, artists, now we have what I call the keys to success. Because if you want to sell art online, there are two things that you must have. One, you got to target collectors that have the willingness to buy art. If you have the willingness to buy art, like you like Sotheby's, Art Basel, or Artsy, like I know you like art, right? But then secondly, when we put that financial layering on, now I know you have the ability to buy art. And this gives me the opportunity to put my art in front of collectors that have money. And so this type of access changes everything, okay? And so affluent artists are using this to sell art worldwide. Man, Nisha Kapoor says, Sharess, your system rocks. I got another celeb lead as a result of my ads. We spoke on the phone. A person is willing to buy. And she was actually the first artist to sell art in Indian rupees, okay? Miss Valerie, she's a senior. She's a grandmother. She got money from Facebook ads, all right? So if the grannies can sell art with Facebook ads, you can absolutely sell art with Facebook ads. And then here's Christy. She spent $45 on ads, and she made $1,400 in a day and a half. She said, I spent $45, ran an ad in a day and a half. I received over 800 likes, 200 comments, 100 shares, and about 300 messages from collectors asking to buy her art. I got 14 sales and 10 possibles. She said, I hope everyone in this group realized we struck gold. I'm grateful for this program, Affluent Artists for Life. Type yes in the chat if you like to invest $45 and make $1,400 or more. All right. And then my man Joe Woods, one of my favorite stories, he said this happened last night. So Joe sold a $2,000 piece from his ads while he was asleep. Man, put sleep money in the chat, or you can put the bed and the money bag emoji if you want to wake up sales in the morning, right? Because your art ads are running 24/7 and somebody bought some art from you while you were asleep. Put sleep money in the chat, all right? Let's get it. Everybody should be putting sleep money in the chat. I like to wake up money. I know some of y'all like to go to work and get your money. I like to wake up to new monies in my account. You dig what I'm saying? All right. So now I'm showing you how to find money to buy collectors with AI and Instagram ads. As an affluent artist, can you see yourself using this secret to get high-paying collectors? Just type yes in the chat. Try Call Cherry, Terrence, Amazon Warrior, Creation Rebel, my man Jason Flakes, Art Dealer Creations. I want to get paid to create. Let's get it, all right? So artists, so far you discovered how to create your art stores and raise your prices. You discover how artwork makes it easy to share your art via text, email, or social. You discover how to sell art to a worldwide collector marketplace. You also discover how to get collectors to buy your art with one click. And I showed you how to use that financial layering to target high-income collectors. And so knowing what you know now, type yes in the chat if you feel more confident in pricing your art by using that art story. You can do that today, okay? That's free game right there. Type yes in the chat if you were happy you attended this live class today. I love doing this live, man, and engaging with y'all one-to-one. What's up, Coco Chanel? Good to see you, family. All right. I see the yeses with all the S's coming through. And do you realize the advantage you have as an artist using these techniques, right? Everybody don't know how to target collectors that spend $1 million on art using that financial layering. All right. I see the yeses coming through. And can you see yourself using this to sell more art? Listen, these artists were just getting started selling art online. If they can do it, you can absolutely do it. All right. And some of y'all probably got much more skill than they do. Okay. And can you see yourself get new collectors like these other artists? Just type yes in the chat if you can see yourself doing this. All right. It's really simple and easy. And I'm going to hold your hand to do it. Okay. And so artists, man, you're so welcome, family. Say thank you for sharing. Thank you for being here and just investing your time into yourself and your business, your career. All right. That means a lot. I appreciate you coming. All right. So artists, you got two choices. I know we got some brilliant artists on here. So it's on your own. All right. And that's a very worthy option to pursue. But those of you that value your time and speed and success and precision, choice number 2 is you can have us responsible for your success to help you get 10 or more new collectors every single month. All right. And so let me know in the chat, like, would this transform your life? Like if you follow what I showed you in secret number 1 and use any one of your art stories so your art can sell itself on Instagram, then you did what I revealed in secret number 2. So you can use the artwork app to easily sell more of your art. And then you use secret number 3 to get access to the same high-paying collectors on Instagram that your rich auction houses and galleries and fairs like Art Basel attract. Do you think you can be successful? Yes, absolutely. Absolutely you can, all right? And so what if I helped you? Just type yes in the chat if you like my help. I would love to help you. If you like my help, type yes in the chat, all right? I see the hearts and the 100s coming through. Let's get it, all right? I see the yeses. And so I want to introduce you to the Affluent Artist Masterclass. This is a fun and easy 5-step system for visual artists to raise your prices and get 10 or more new collectors every single month online, okay? And so the Affluent Artist Masterclass has 5 simple steps. Step number 1 is mindset. That's what we call your millionaire mindset, so we can get rid of any starving artist broke ways of thinking. Step number 2 is price. That's where we teach you the luxury pricing method so you can raise your prices and charge your worth. Step number 3 is sold. That's where we teach you our cash collectors framework so you can start selling art before you spend money on ads or any kind of technology. Step number 4 is collectors. This is where we show you how to create a collector community so you can actually build lifelong relationships with collectors that want to continue to buy your art. And then step number 5 is marketing. This is where we show you how to run those Instagram ads and use that financial layering so you can target these high-paying collectors, okay? And so here's my guy, Christian, man. I want you to hear his story. He created this piece behind him, and he's such a dope artist, man. He's one of my favorite artists. But his brother was thinking about giving up because it was so hard to sell art. And so just listen to his story and his transformation after he became an affluent artist.
Yeah, what's up, y'all? It's Christian Lamar here, and I'm a portrait artist from VA. Now I just want to tell y'all why I joined the Affluent Artist Masterclass. I went to a great art school and learned from some phenomenal artists, but they never taught me how to sell my work. So after I graduated, I struggled, like, to the point of almost wanting to give up on my dream of being a professional artist. Well, this course changed all of that. It showed me how to turn my art into a business, and most importantly, how to sell online. So now I can sell to anyone, anywhere. And the results are super quick. I made my first sale within 30 hours of starting the program. It made just under $1,500 within the first 5 days. And now that I'm in week 4, I've made just over $4,000. And it's super easy to follow. Like, if you're like me and you're ready to fulfill your dreams of being a professional artist, give the program a shot. And you also get to join a community of artists that share their experiences every day of what works. So join me in the family and become an affluent artist today. All right. Peace.
Shout out to my guy, Christian Lamar. So again, artists, this works for you if you are a painter, a sculptor, you do acrylic pouring, jewelry, photography, mixed media, digital art, AI art, drawing, ceramics, collage, furniture, clothes, murals, metalworks, wearable art. It works for all affluent artists at all prices. All right. And so type yes in the chat if you want to get this system, man, that helped Miss Joy sell $4,000 in Canada. And Miss Joy, she took cash on this payment. That's why we got that Canadian cash on the table. All right. That's one thing we always tell the truth about making money. Ain't no need to lie about selling no art. All right. So I always show the proof. That's why she got that cash on the table like that. Okay. And so this also works if your art isn't ready. So again, I showed you earlier how Jasmine used her art story. That was secret number one. And she started selling pre-ordered prints before the original was done. All right. If you understand what I'm telling you, put pre-order in the chat. You literally can use your art story, tell that story before the original is completed. You can start selling prints the following morning like Jasmine. All right. Just put pre-order in the chat. All right. So when you join today, you're going to get access to the Affluent Artist Masterclass. All right. And that's a total value of $5,000. All right. Part number 2 is the Artwork Gold account. All right. Imagine collectors buying from anywhere in the world. So collectors that got an artwork account, they can buy from anywhere in the world. Okay. And so Jen, she sold this piece on Artwork Emerges in Power for $2,700. She was excited and said she's going to supersize her fries tonight. All right. And so when you get your Artwork Gold account, you'll be able to accept payments up to $1 million. You can easily sell your art anywhere, in person or online. You'll be able to track your art, your sales, and your collector information in one place. Collectors can buy your art with one click, like we buy on Amazon. Collectors can also track their net worth in your art, so they see when your value increases as an artist, okay? And also, you'll be able to save a lot of money and get rid of some other tools as well, okay? So if you got a website right now and you're spending money on it every month and it's not working, you can get rid of that, all right? If you want to keep it, that's up to you, but you save money on a website that ain't selling, okay? If you're still using tools like Venmo, Cash App, and Zelle, listen, these tools will prevent you from selling at certain price points, all right? Get paid, get your money, but make sure you also present your art like a professional and give high-end collectors like the buying experience that they want, okay? And if you're using tools like Artsy, Etsy, or Art Storefront, I know they charge a lot of fees. You can get rid of that. Shopify, Artwork Archive, Fine Art America, and other marketplaces. Again, if you're not making sales there, you can stop using those as well and save that money. And then ultimately, your most important asset is that lost time that you've been trying to figure this stuff out on your own, okay? And so as an artist, like when I started, I didn't know how to manage my art sales in one place or how to track how much my collectors spent. Like I also didn't have a global marketplace where collectors could buy one click. So I had to create artwork for myself. And so 6 years ago, I had to spend over $60,000 in 3 years to figure out how to create an app to solve this problem for myself. But I wanted to launch this to the world so other artists could do it and use it as well, all right? And so I don't want you recreating the wheel. So I'm going to give you an artwork account with this package so you can skip the cost, the trial, and the error. I put cool in the chat. That's cool. All right. She said, buy Shopify. All right. And so Tiara, I told her she uploaded some of her art. Within a few days, she got a notification that one of her pieces sold. And she said she was really shocked at how quick the sale happened. Okay. And so if you're not tech savvy, listen, that is not a problem. We intentionally designed artwork to be so simple that children could use it, okay? It's a very simple and an easy design. Anybody can use it, all right? And so when you join today, you're going to be able to get your Artwork Gold account, and that's a $6,200 value. Part 3 is the Affluent Artist community, all right? And so y'all, listen, we have a community online, but we got a real community of artists, right? And so this is us at an art show here in Atlanta. So like we literally meet up, have dinner together, mastermind, and help each other sell art. All right. So it's a real online and offline community. And so we got a global network of artists and collectors that love serving and that want to see you succeed. And so when you join today, you get access to our private Affluent Artist School community. And so this gives you the knowledge, community, encouragement, and the motivation you need to succeed in your art career. And so you can access the program and the community anytime from anywhere in the world, and you get unlimited support. So you literally can post a question 24/7 inside the community. And we have a live weekly session to make sure you get all of your questions answered, all right? And the sales sessions are dope, man, because we actually get together once a week, every week, to help each other sell and work through any problems that we have, man. And I love attending the sales sessions with the other affluent artists, okay? All right. And so another thing I love about the community is just like all ages. So Sanyu, she started when she was 9. Her mama, Miss Jorvan, got her into the program. This is a picture of them when I met them in Atlanta. When they came down, it was really dope to meet them in person. Yeah, community is big, man. Community is huge for me, all right? I love creating community and just supporting artists in this way. And so this is when they came to Atlanta. I got to meet them in person. Miss Phyllis, she was 73 when she started. She made a sale in her first week. All right. So again, we got the grannies and the granddaddies in here getting money too. So I love just like how you can help some artists that's younger than you and that are just getting rolling, but you also get the wisdom from artists that have been doing it for decades. Okay. And so just imagine being a part of a community of artists that want to help you 24/7. All right? Ain't nobody gatekeeping, hoarding no information. We want to give you the game and the wisdom because we know it's enough abundance for all of us to sell and succeed. And so like my guy Sean here, he's a photographer. I love when he posted this. He said, lesson learned, follow up every time. You never know why somebody ghosts you. I thought maybe my price was too high for her and she was gone for good. Don't make up your own stories as to why they didn't call back. Just follow up and be polite, right? That's real game right there. And so when you join today, you're going to get access to the Affluent Artist Masterclass. You get the Artwork Gold account, and you become a member of the Affluent Artist community, and that's a $7,400 value, okay? And so artists, if you got questions, type your questions in the chat. But I want to know, like, if all this did was help your art tell stories so your artwork could sell itself, like, how would that help your art career? Let me know in the chat, all right? If all this did was help you easily sell your art online in any economy, right? Artists are making sales right now, all right? Let me know in the chat. And if all this did was help you get an infinite amount of high-paying collectors following you and buying your work from Instagram, like, how would that transform your art career, all right? Now, we're putting this program together. I had two choices. My first option was to go as cheap as possible and try to sell as many as possible, but that wouldn't really incentivize me to stack the value, all right? Now, the second option required a little higher investment, but that was so that I could make sure that my team and I could devote more resources to guarantee your success. It gave me the motivation to keep creating. Let's rock and roll, man. Let's go, Amazon. All right. And so type yes if you want to start selling art for over $10,000, like my girl Isha Nelson here. Man, she sold this beautiful 5-panel commission for 10 G's. Okay. So these are the opportunities that you can get, man, when you are targeting high income collectors. Okay. And so what are your dreams worth to you? Right? If you were making money every day because you were successfully selling your art to collectors on Instagram, what would that be worth to you? Like, how much would you pay to have one automated collector system sell your art 24/7? All right. And so you can see why artists have paid $10,000 for similar results for me, because it's not a cost when you do business with us. It is an investment. All right. And so you see why it's worth over $10,000. But even at $5,000 for the general public, it's a great deal. We got artists selling art for $5,000 or more all the time. Brescia, Jen, Jasmine. I just showed you Isha with a 10K sale. But because you watch this masterclass live, and I want to help as many artists as possible, I'm going to give you a very special offer. All right. So when you go to affluentartist.com, you don't have to invest anywhere near $5,000. Oftentimes, if we do a deal, we'll do 30% off, but you don't have to invest anywhere near there today. We have a special 94% off for only $9.99 when you go to affluentartist.com. All right. But it gets even better because we have a partnership with Affirm, Afterpay, and Klarna. And if you use one of these options, you can get started for as little as $47.96 today, okay? So less than $48, you can become an affluent artist and start using our system to bring these high-income collectors to you, all right? So go to affluentartist.com. If you need help ordering, text JOIN to 470-777-7549, okay? And again, when you go to affluentartist.com, we got the buy now, pay later options. Highly recommend that you use this if you want to make it crazy, crazy affordable. So Klarna, I know they have 24 payments of $47.96 per month. Very, very affordable financing. Go to affluentartist.com or text JOIN to 470-777-7549. All right. And so artists, if you're tired of putting time and skill into your art, only for buyers to continue lowballing the true value of your art, I got some special bonuses for the artists that are here, okay? So bonus number one, we're going to give you the luxury pricing method. And so this is what Christy used to raise her prices, and it had her saying, holy smokes. You know a series of folks get to saying holy smokes. And so she watched this same class that you were on, and she made over $1,350 in the first 5 days. So she said, holy smokes, I reached out to an old friend and supporter of my art and landed a $1,000 mural job. The system works. I was thinking of asking $800. I was hoping for $600, but I boldly asked $1,000 and she didn't hesitate, okay? And Jen, she used the luxury pricing method to sell this piece for $5,840. And I told you Brescia Jones' story. She was speechless because this was the highest and this was the biggest art piece and the highest price that she had ever sold before as well. All right. And so just imagine your confidence skyrocketing because your art story has collectors emotionally invested in buying your art at any price. This is your new reality when you become an affluent artist. All right. So when you join today, you're going to get access to the Affluent Artist Masterclass. You get access to the Artwork Gold account. You become a member of the Affluent Artist community, and you're going to get that luxury pricing method, and that's an $8,400 value, okay? Bonus number 2. Listen, y'all, this is our automated collector system. And so when you join, we're going to give you a pre-built website sales funnel template. All you have to do is change the pictures, the words, and the video testimonials if you have some, okay? It's already pre-built for you. We also give you automated email and text follow-up so you can be following up with your collectors 24/7, okay? Man, if y'all not following up with collectors and leveraging AI, now you have the opportunity to do that when you get the automated collector system, okay? And so I want to share y'all a quick story too, because Miss Anitra, we recently set her automated collector system up in May, and man, her outcomes are like blowing me away. So she said, I've always known anything is possible when you believe and do the work. Before she joined, she had been creating a lot of art. She wasn't selling anything. She didn't have any collectors coming to her. And she said last week on the sales call, I had 277 collector leads from my Facebook ad. And today I have 468 new leads. That's almost 200 new leads in 7 days. Sharesh, thank you, sir. And she just started talking about her experience talking to these collectors. And so she went from 0 collectors to having over 468 collector opportunities. And she's well over 500 now, man. So she is rocking and rolling. And so I know many artists, they suffer from that feast of famine income where you sell art some months and some months you don't sell at all, right? Because you don't have new interested collectors coming to you. And so I spent years investing my time and my money testing which art ads and sales pages work best to turn clicks to collectors so you can have collectors coming to you 24/7. And it literally works like that around the clock because the ads continue to go unless you turn it off, all right? And so when we get an endless flow of new interested collector leads joining your email list and buying your art 24/7, this gives you predictable cash to grow your art brand, and you build on the collector community while sales come in at the same time, okay? And so like Christy, when she spent the $45 on ads, she was using this automated collector system to sell her art, and she made over $1,400 a day and a half, okay? And so that's how she got 200 comments, 800 likes, 100 shares, 300 messages, 14 sales, and she had 10 more leads that were ready to buy. And so if you already have a website that's not selling how you like it, listen, you can keep it. I know some of y'all, you built it. It's like your baby. You spending money on it. I get it. Or you can get rid of it if you want to save that cash, okay? Because you can use ours to get new collectors coming to buy your art every single day like clockwork. And so when you join today, you're going to get access to the Affluent Artist Masterclass. You're going to get access to the Artwork Gold account. You become a member of the Affluent Artist community. You're going to get that luxury pricing method bonus and that automated collector system. And that's a total value of over $9,600, all right? Bonus number 3, when you join today, you're going to be able to find your high-income collectors live with me, okay? I'm going to show you exactly how to target those high-income collectors and set up your art ads on Instagram. And so I know many artists, they struggle to get exposure to collectors that can afford their art at the price you think it's worth. And so I spent over $250,000 on Instagram ads, figuring out the best way to target buyers with money. And so you get instant access to what's working right now with Instagram ads and AI, okay? And so I showed you earlier how we can literally target any brand that's accessible on Facebook or Instagram, like Sotheby's here, put in that financial layering, and we can put our art in front of collectors that are spending millions of dollars worth of art right now, okay? Type yes in the chat if you want to start asking these high-income collectors. I just put the yeses in the chat, all right? And so this is going to allow you to get exposed to collectors with that cash. You'll be able to leverage AI to target the best collectors for your style, and you can predictably get new collectors 24/7 with ads, okay? And so Jen, this is a commission that she got for $4,369. She said, I threw out a random number and they said, can they pay it in 3, right? And so when you start targeting people with money, you literally, I want you to start testing out higher prices and see where you get resistance and what works, all right? That's one of the great ways where you can use to increase your price. Jasmine, when she first really got rolling with this program, she needed to make $5,000 a month to go full time. But after she implemented the system and started talking to these collectors and having conversations, she made over $5,527 in the first week. Okay. That's the power of the system. All right. And so artists are using this to make sales every day. Like my guy Dwayne here, Sean Mulkey, Miss Valerie and Miss Phyllis. They were both over 50 when they joined the program. They started making sales quickly. And so also, man, we have what we call a $1 Million Artist Mastermind here in Atlanta, where it's a $25,000 investment for artists to come to Atlanta 4 times a year, where we can network, work together, and actually help each other build our businesses and work on the business side. All right. And so you don't have to invest anywhere near $25K today to get access to our team and our community. You can join for a fraction of that, literally for less than $48 a month when you go to affluentartist.com. All right. And so if you were to go back to art school or to hire an online marketing agency or attempt to get a gallery to sell your work to collectors for you, it might cost you $100,000 in tuition, 50% of your profits doing business with that gallery or that dealer, or years of your life figuring it out. All right. You can save that money. You can keep all of those profit margins in your own bank account, and you can save your time when you enroll and become an affluent artist. Okay. And so even if you finance it with Klarna, that's literally only $1.60 per day to start selling your art online. All right. That's like a cheap breakfast sandwich at McDonald's when you enroll now at affluentartist.com. All right. Affluent artists, you got 2 choices. Again, you can do this on your own. I know we got some brilliant and incredibly talented artists here. And so I know that's a worthy option to pursue. All right. But choice number 2, if you want to work with me and my team and have us responsible for your success, we're going to help you get 10 or more new collectors every single month when we implement that automated collector system. Okay. And we are so confident in our ability to help artists sell their art online that we actually back it with 110% money back guarantee. Okay. So when you sign up now, if Affluent Artist does not help you sell more art and get more collectors, you'll have 2 options. All right. Option number 1, you follow the steps. For whatever reason, you decide you don't like getting collectors on autopilot, you can win 110% of your money back. Okay. Option number 2, you decide, Sherez, no, I want to grow as an affluent artist and I really want to hit my income and revenue goals. I want to go full time. We will personally help you get 10 or more new collectors every single month with our automated collector system. All right. And so why do we do this? It's simple, because it's a win-win. All right. This makes it a no-brainer for you to join. And I know we can help you succeed. And so when you sign up, I know for a fact, one of these 2 things will happen. 1, you work to set up your automated collector system. You start getting interested collectors joining your email list. You get 10 or more new collectors every month. All right. Or you will win $1,100 from us just for trying it out. Okay. And so also you got a few qualifications to qualify for the money back guarantee. First, we want you to earn 100% completion by watching the Affluent Artist Masterclass. And obviously, we want you to take action on the masterclass. All right. Don't just watch the content and do nothing with it. Attend the live sales session every week so we can answer your questions and give you hands-on help. And then most importantly, sell art. We want you to actually use the wisdom to sell your art. Okay. And then share your results about your experience being an affluent artist on social media. All right. So when you join our team, and your profit is guaranteed, right? You follow the steps. For whatever reason you decide it's not for you, you can win your money back. And we give you a 10% tip just for trying it out. All right. Option number 2, you decide you want to grow as an affluent artist, and we will continue helping you get 10 or more new collectors every single month when you enroll at affluentartist.com. All right. And so the real question is, is this worth taking a few minutes to just check this out? Because even if it does half of what I say today, it will pay for itself as soon as you sell 1 painting for $1,000. Okay. And so I don't know all of y'all price points, but it's really easy to sell a painting for $1,000. And I love to tell artists all the time, listen, you're just one collector away from transforming your entire life, your art career, and everything that you're doing when you get that confidence to start selling your art at higher prices. All right. And so when you join our team today, you're going to get access to the Affluent Artist Masterclass. You get the Artwork Gold account. You become a member of the Affluent Artist community. You're going to get some powerful bonuses as well. All right. The luxury pricing method, the automated collector system, and you'll be able to find your high income collectors with me. All right. That's a total value of over $10,600. You can enroll now at affluentartist.com. Now, artists, some of you are still here, and you might see this intentionally blank screen right here. Okay. This is an editing marker for me, because what I'm about to say next, I'm going to cut this out of the replay, because this is only for artists that are here live, and I want to reward you for your time and for showing up. Okay. And so artists that join before we end this live class, I'm going to give you a free lifetime artwork account. All right. That's a $1,200 a year value. So normally the artwork gold account is $99 a month. It's going to be free for you forever. You'll be able to upload unlimited art. You can access collectors globally. And many artists use this to sell art within the first 7 days. Okay. And so again, you're just one collector away from really transforming your life. And this is only for artists that buy live. All right. The lifetime artwork gold account. You can get that when you enroll at affluentartist.com before the end of this class. Okay. So artists, get started now, man. We're excited. Congratulations to everybody that joined. If you got a question, type your questions in the chat. When you join today, you're going to get access to the Affluent Artist Masterclass. You get access to the Artwork Gold account. You become a member of the Affluent Artist community. You're going to get that luxury pricing method bonus. You get that automated collector system to bring collectors to you 24/7 from Instagram. And you'll be able to find your collectors with me. And that's a total value of over $10,600. All right. We got a special 94% off for only $9.99. But also we have a partnership with Afterpay, Affirm, and Klarna. So you can get started for as little as $47.96 a month when you enroll at affluentartist.com. All right, artists, you got a question? Type your questions in the chat. Artists are making sales with this every day. All right. So like Miss Yvonne, she sold Spidey senses on artwork. Diana, she say happy Friday when she getting paid. My man Dwayne, he sold another one right here for $412. My guy Blue Robin, when he posted his first sale. Mr. Bill right here selling art. All right. So at this point, I see a lot of you have signed up, and that really makes me happy, man. Excited to have you all in the program. Some of you are still here though, and I can tell you're getting ready to sign up, but you have a question you need answered first before making that decision. So let's address those questions in the time that we have left. If you got a question, type your question in the chat to let me know how I can help you, okay? So some artists want to know, what if I already have a website? So listen, if you aren't making sales on your website, you can send all your collectors to Artwork and use our automated collector system so you can eliminate the hosting costs and those monthly fees, okay? Do collectors need an Artwork account? So collectors can buy as guests, but we encourage them to get an Artwork account so they can track their art collection, all right? How do I afford the investment? And so we're going to talk about several ways that you can afford the investment. But one of the ways is you can post your art story, like I showed you earlier, and literally start making sales today. So Jasmine, she was still working on her original, and she posted the prints, and she started getting pre-orders before the original was done. All right. So you can literally start selling art before the originals are complete. All right. Ty said, how about digital art? How do you sell digital art? Yes, you can sell digital art with this process as well, Ty. We have a lot of artists that sell digital art and AI art with this system as well, okay? All right. Amazon Warrior, you got to figure out a way to get the investment, to invest into yourself, my friend. All right. The financing is less than $48, but you can also use the wisdom from this class right here to sell your art, okay? Some artists want to know, how do I make the time? So Brisha Jones, she uses what we call our success block to make the time. And she sold this $2,572 commission using her success block. And so it's a really simple process where we wake up an hour or two earlier than we normally do. Now you got to have the discipline to get in bed on time. We wake up a little earlier and we devote that morning to our art career in our craft. Okay. And so if you actually put the first part of your morning to focus on your career and making your sales, man, you're going to start to see your career skyrocket. All right. And that's a huge difference between going to work, taking care of your family and friends. And then when you come home, when you're tired, and now you try to give like the most tired, depleted version of yourself to your craft. Okay. It's a little bit more difficult to really get that lift off when you are giving like the most tired version of yourself to your business. Okay. And so establish that morning success block. That's going to be a great way for you to make the time to take action on this program and to start selling art. Some artists want to know, can I do this from anywhere in the world? Absolutely. I'm in Atlanta, Georgia. Miss Joy is up in Canada, and she used this to sell over $4,000 for this mural, among many other sales. Okay. Some artists want to know, what if I'm just getting started? All right. And so one of my favorite stories to illustrate this is how Tierra, when she joined and became an affluent artist, she inspired her children to want to sell art. And so she had 3 sons at the time that were 2, 5, and 7 years old. And she taught them about finance, about how to make profit, creating their mission statements, setting goals, buying supplies, and of course, creating their art stores. And so these young fellows, man, they had a goal to sell $250, but with the support of their family and friends, they made over $500, all right? And so if children that are 2, 5, and 7 can do this, you can absolutely do this, okay? When you become an affluent artist at affluentartist.com. Amazon Warrior said, I didn't see that option for 48. It said 249. You should see that option in Klarna. I'm gonna go to the checkout page here in a second, and I'll show y'all how to check out. All right, that should be there. Do we need an EIN for this to sell art? Or no, not yet. Great question. You do not need an EIN to start selling art. All right, and so we actually structured a program for artists that don't have a business yet, where they can start selling art and use that cash to invest and get their business created. But to set up the automated collector system with some of the technology and to run Instagram ads, you will need a business, okay? You will need a business. But we structured a program to help you make money. You can use some of that capital to get your LLC started, and then you can start advertising, okay? Great question. Some artists want to know, is the process too hard or too technical? So listen, Miss Valerie, she was 68 when she started, and she sold over $10,000 in her first 4 months, okay? And so if a grandmother can do it, you can absolutely do it, all right? And so artists, as we close out, if you got a question, please type your questions in the chat. Congratulations to all the artists that have enrolled. You got to get resources or be resourceful to join the program, all right? I know we all got different financial situations, but I want to share a story about Miss Stacy because she was struggling financially when she decided to be resourceful and join the program as well. And she was glad that she did. And so she said, yes, it works. I made my call to a friend that said she wanted these paintings when they're done. I called her and told them they are done. She could buy 1 for $250 or 3 for $6, and she took all 3, all right? And there's something amazing that happens when, as an artist, you start to associate and surround yourself with other artists that are winning. And so Miss Stacy went from struggling to find the resources to join the program to selling art quickly. Next thing you know, she is exhibiting her art at local hotels in Phoenix, Arizona for their grand opening receptions. And so when you start to get around other affluent artists that are winning and that are sharing what's working and letting you know how to get deals with hotels and different things like that, man, powerful things start to happen for you in your art career, okay? When you're surrounded by a community of people that are winning and they want to see you succeed and win as well. Some artists want to know, is there too much competition? So listen, not only am I an artist, but I'm also a collector. And if you were to look around my place, man, I got art from all kind of artists from all different backgrounds. And so you know collectors, man, we buy art, all right? They buy what they like. And so there's no such thing as too much competition. The collectors are going to get what they want, okay? There's more than enough for all of us to win. What is the artwork commission? So it's only 10%. All right? It's one of the lowest commissions in the industry. And more important than that, we give you all of your collectors' data, okay? So I know generally when you do business with some galleries and dealers, they'll take 25 to 50% of the sale. And then they also don't always give you the collector data because they don't want you to go around them and cut them out of their commission, all right? I think that's crazy when I had that experience myself. So we give you your collector's data because I want you to build a lifelong relationship with them so they continue to buy from you, okay? What budget do I need for ads? You literally can get started for as little as $5 per day, okay? I showed you Christy. She got a $700 sale just by spending $7. It don't happen all the time, but it's a possibility, all right? You don't need a lot of money to get started advertising either, okay? And then also we structured a program to help you start selling art first so you have the capital to advertise, okay? And so artists, if you got questions, type your question in the chat. But listen, man, we know being a full-time artist, it absolutely beats working a 9 to 5. You can make way more money as an artist in way less time, and you're going to have more fun because you're creating, okay? And so like Mia, when she started doing this full-time, she was getting $2,000 commissions from collectors to create art for their 2-year-old bedroom, right? Collectors, man, they're buying art for all type of stuff, okay? And it's really that community support that creates that success habit. It's been a powerful experience watching artists join our community and they see what other artists are doing. They see the collector leads they're getting. They listen to the collector conversations. They start selling art. They got a process to follow to sell their art, and everyone is sharing. And it just makes you step your game up, man. It's something powerful about that, just being in a community of other people that's winning, okay? And so another cool thing that happens is like friendly little competitions start, right? So it's like, hold up. if she or he can sell this art, I know I can do it, right? Whether you think you are more skilled or more talented than them, it's just really fun, man, for you to be surrounded by success because it rubs off on you, okay? And so listen, you know, if you've been searching on Google, Instagram, YouTube, reading books, or just trying to find information on how to sell your art, going to college, right? We know information alone is not enough, okay? You need systems, you need mentorship, you need community, you need tools that actually work. You need to be able to access a global marketplace of collectors. And so if you want to get booked and busy like Toya, go to affluentartist.com and join our team, all right? And so like my guy, John Tate, you got to ask yourself, do you want money or excuses, all right? Because you can't have both. If you want money, we're going to have to figure out how to overcome your reasons for not investing into yourself, okay? And so my guy, John Tate, he wanted money. And so next thing we know, man, he's selling art at shows. He sold his $2,000 lamb piece to these collectors right here, okay? And so artists, as we close out, if you got a question, type it in the chat. But I want you to think about the true cost of inaction, all right? Because what if this helped you start selling just one piece per week, right? Would that be worth $1.60 per day? Yes, of course, okay? Even if your price point is just $100 right now, that's absolutely worth it, just selling a piece per week. But the thing you got to calculate is what's the true cost of inaction, okay? It's June right now. What if you're not selling what you want to sell in June, right? What does that lost income cost you, right? If you go into July and you're not hitting your sales goal, what does that lost income cost you? Same thing in August. If you're doing the same thing that's not working well for you going into the Christmas holiday this year, which is one of the highest, times a year for art sales, like what does that cost you in lost revenue? Okay. And so you got to ask yourself, like, is it really worth missing months of art sales because you're trying to save $1.60 per day? All right. Because if you follow just one of the steps I shared on today's event, you can make a profit in the first week when you become a member of Affluent Artist at affluentartist.com. All right. Also, some of us had an opportunity. You can ask your family and friends to invest into you in the program. Okay. In my experience, people want to help you when they know that you have a plan, a community, and some mentorship, and you're not just like winging it. All right. So you can ask your family and friends. And then also PayPal will invest into you as well. So PayPal, they have a PayPal credit program. If you go to paypal.com/credit, you can apply. And they have no payments plus no interest if it's paid in full in 6 months. And so this is a great option as well. Some artists use this to get PayPal to make the investment into them. They go through the program, they start selling art, and they pay PayPal back before they have any interest payments, okay? And so if you're a PayPal user or if you want to do business with PayPal, highly recommend PayPal credit as well, okay? And then again, we also have the buy now, pay later options. If you use Klarna, you should see the 24 payments of $47.96 a month. When you go to affluentartist.com, you can also use Affirm and Afterpay as well. All right. And so, artists, the time is now. Man, I want to tell y'all this story about Miss Raquel West here. She said, so often I have been told that my prices are too high. And after so much time and money spent on coaching and marketing, trying to find my target audience, I was still struggling to make the high ticket sales that I wanted. After connecting with Sharess and noting and actively implementing the wisdom that I learned without negotiation or hesitation, this collector purchased this piece in my $1,200 asking price. I am beyond grateful for the knowledge and the quick turnaround. All right. And so I know some artists are here, man. You probably invested in coaching, invested in mentoring, different programs and things. And maybe you didn't get the results that you were looking for. Right. I understand that. But like Miss Raquel here, when she joined the Affluent Artist program and started using what we taught, man, she started selling art for the prices that she wanted without collectors trying to negotiate and get her to lower her price, okay? And so you get us to that process when you become a member at affluentartist.com, all right? So listen, I want to help you accomplish your dreams. Let's do it together because as a fellow artist, I know your struggle with selling art is real. But when it's gone for your life, like how will you feel? Like think about that for a minute, okay? Just how much better will your life be? Like, right? Like some of y'all are working jobs and you want to go full time. Like how much stress cause when you don't have the cash that you want, right? Just working a job, never having enough money. You know you really want to be a full-time artist. All right. Because listen, after you join, listen, that is gone. We're going to help you set this system up. And I want you to just imagine having an automated collector system and just like feel that difference. All right. And it starts by going to affluentartist.com, clicking the link below. I pinned it in the chat. And let's walk through the checkout process. All right. So I'm going to come out here. When you go to affluentartist.com, it's going to take you to our order form. All right. And so we're going to recap all of the bonuses that you get when you become an affluent artist today. And we also recap our 110% money back guarantee. All right. And so when you join, you come to this checkout page, just put your name, your email address, your phone number, put your address in, and you can select your payment option. All right. So if you want to join for the do-it-yourself program, select the 94% off. We also have a done with you one-on-one option. If you like to talk to our team for a fast start success call, just check that to add that to your order, okay? And so when you come down here, you can use PayPal at checkout, PayPal Pay Later. You can also use Venmo. All right. And then let me refresh this. All right, and then here's the you can put your credit card or a debit card in, enter the 16-digit card number. You can put your expiration, the month and the year, your 3-digit CVC, and then choose your country and your zip code. All right. If you want to use Klarna, you can click Klarna. You click Learn More. It should pop up right there. You should see the 24 payment option. Okay. So once you start going through the process, you should see that 24 payments for $47.96 per month. And they also have some other payment plans as well, okay? But Klarna, I know they have the lowest payment option, but you can use Klarna or Afterpay and then click Join Now and just go through the enrollment process, all right? If you're using Klarna or Afterpay, make sure that you go through the full process so that you can get access to the program, all right? All right, if you got a question, type your questions in the chat, all right? So we are excited to help you, man. Congratulations to all the artists that joined. So Affluent Artists, get started now. Go to affluentartist.com. When you join today, you're going to get access to the Affluent Artist Masterclass. You're going to get access to the Artwork Gold account. You get access and become a member of the Affluent Artist community. You also go and get some fast action bonuses. All right, you get that luxury pricing method, the automated collector system, so collectors come to you 24/7, and you'll be able to find your collectors with me live on Instagram, setting up your art ads step by step, and using that financial layering so we can target those high income collectors, that top 5% income, top 10% income, and the top 10 to 50% of income earners that are already spending millions of dollars on these big art brands, okay? And so when you join today, you're going to get access to this program. It's a total value of over $10,600. We got a special 94% off for only $9.99 when you enroll at affluentartist.com, all right? Again, you can use Afterpay, Affirm, and Klarna for the buy now, pay later option. And the Klarna one has a payment plan as low as $47.96 per month. You can get access to that when you enroll at affluentartist.com. All right. If you need help ordering, text JOIN to 470-777-7549. All right. We still got a lot of artists here. If you got questions, type your questions in the chat. I see a lot of y'all have joined. Congratulations to all the new artists that have joined. If you got a question, let me know in the chat, man. If there's anything we can do to get you enrolled, we would love to get you started and to get you access to this full program, man, our community. And when you join, make sure you check your email for your receipt and your welcome email so you can get step-by-step on how to get access to the program, okay? In the event you don't see the welcome email or receipt, check your spam folder and move that to your primary inbox, okay? But after you join, check your order receipt. So we're going to show you exactly how to get access to everything in the program. And we're excited to see you on the inside. All right. We still got a lot of artists here. I'm going to stick around until I got all the questions answered. Okay. If you got a question, type your question in the chat. Amazon Ward, you got a question for me? TA5393. You got a question? Talk to me in the chat. Roll, Creation Rebel, Tribe Called Cherry, man. Y'all got some really dope names, man. If y'all got any question, type your name in the chat. Type your question in the chat. Let me know how I can serve you, all right? I'm gonna take a quick sip of water, but I'm here to serve. We're here to talk. Any of your questions that you have that are pressing, let me know in the chat. Let me know how we can help you. All right, awesome. Amazon Warrior, excited to have you in the community, family. Let me know when you get signed up. Just joined Prism Productions. So excited to have you, Chanel. Awesome. Blessing. It's a blessing to serve you. Excited to have you in the community. I can't wait till y'all introduce yourselves and show everybody your art. All right. We live. We rocking and rolling, man. Excited to have everybody. Can't wait till y'all get y'all automated collector system stood up. Really quick and easy, man. That's another thing too. When you get inside the program, man, I put my name on this. All right. So I put a lot of time, energy, and effort into building this program, making it as step by step and as simple as easy as possible to follow. So the videos are short, they actionable. It's just straight wisdom. All right. A big part of learning and teaching is like doing all the hard stuff and then figuring out how you can distill something down to its simplest parts so somebody else can follow it and get the result. All right. And so me and many other artists in the community, like we always working in the background, testing new ads, testing new angles, testing headlines and coming up with new art offers, testing out new features for the artwork app, just so we can create a world-class experience for everybody and help you sell your art. All right. So we take this very seriously. It's a blessing, man. This is a part of my purpose, and I'm grateful to be able to serve and help you all sell more of your art. We got some incredible artists, man, and I'm just really excited to get y'all on the inside. TA5393 said, how do you copyright or protect digital art? So first, what I do is I copyright my art through the copyright.gov. All right? It's copyright.gov. I think that's the website. Excuse me if I misspeak. You can Google it and find it. So I copyright my work. Now, the other side of it, man, I don't really know how to prevent someone from stealing your work, right? Because we post stuff on Instagram, Facebook, just posting our images and sharing and showing it. And especially if you're doing digital art, like you can put some watermarks and stuff on it, man. That could kind of like help. But just with this AI stuff, man, I don't really know. If any of you have some wisdom to share with me, please do. I'm still learning, all right? But I also don't spend a lot of time worrying about that, because even if someone steals it, they don't have the skill to sell it and profit off of it like I do, okay? And then just also in my experience, like theft like that is it doesn't happen that often. So it's just not something that I spend a lot of time worrying about. I just focus on selling my art, building relationships with collectors that want to buy it, and just go full steam ahead with that. It's kind of just how I think about it, all right? But you can copyright your art. I highly recommend everybody do that as well. It's really inexpensive. But then some people, I know some artists just getting rolling. They don't have the opportunity to do that as well, all right? But I do copyrights, all right? Again, if some of y'all got some wisdom on some other ways or some new ways that you're protecting your work, maybe you're doing some things with AI, I would love to learn. I don't know everything. I know a little bit about a lot, but technology is always advancing. And so I'm always learning, reading books and studying and investing into myself as well with mentorship and different coaching and teaching so I can stay on top of my game, okay? All right, so that's how I copyright my work. All right, we got any other questions? Type your question in the chat. All right, let me know if we got some more questions. I'm gonna stay as long as y'all have questions, all right? I'm gonna stay as long as we have questions. Type your question in the chat. Hopefully that helps you, TA 5393. All right, let me know if you're gonna roll. If you got some questions before you get started. All right, I loved your question about the EIN. All right, so we help you all sell art first to make sure that you have the cash that you need to grow your business, right? And so that's like, I'm just now getting an LLC. When you start and you get in step 1 mindset, step 2 pricing, and then step 3 sold, that's where you can start selling art for free just by leveraging your current assets, okay? And then after you start selling art, now you should have some cash where you can pay to get your LLC if you don't have that, okay? Then when you start selling art, now you can have some cash to start investing into Facebook and Instagram ads where you can afford to show your art to collectors to get them coming through your automated collector system so they can buy your art, okay? All right. Any other questions? Great questions. Type your question in the chat. All right. And while I wait on questions, I want to stick around. I know we got some people that's signing up. Let me know what was like your number one takeaway from the class today. Talk to me. Like what was like one of the most valuable things that you learned today? I would love to hear that. All right. Let me know in the chat. All right. Type your questions in the chat. Let me know. Let me know. All right. Type your questions in the chat if you have any. All right. And our team, they're going to send y'all. I see we got several artists texting join. Our team is going to call you once we get done with this class. And that'll be soon. All right. And since y'all are here live, I'll have my team. I might call you myself, man. All right. Let me see if we got any other questions before I get out of here. I don't see any other questions. I got my questions up right here on my phone. All right. I don't see any other questions. So I'm going to get up out of here. All right. I'll give it one more minute, do one last recap. We got some artists to call that want to get joined up. And so our team is going to call, man, and I might call y'all just because y'all joined and y'all talking to us right now, man. So I love doing these live. If you got a question, let me know in the chat. Look forward to serving you and seeing you inside the program. All right. So again, artists, get started now. Go to affluentartist.com and join our team. All right. So once you join today, you're going to get access to the Affluent Artist Masterclass. You get access to the Artwork Gold account. You become a member of the Affluent Artist community, and you're going to get some powerful bonuses when you join today. All right. You're going to get that luxury pricing method so you can charge your worth. You also going to get that automated collector system so we can have collectors giving you their name, phone number, email, home or business address 24/7 like clockwork, because we're going to be advertising on Facebook and Instagram. And then also you'll be able to find your collectors with me. All right. So we're going to show you how to get those high income collectors advertised to art brands like Sotheby, Art Basel. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. All right. If they got a brand that we can advertise to on Instagram, we can target them and put that financial layer on so we can target their collectors that's making a lot of money. All right. And so that's a total value of $10,600. Join today for a special 94% off for only $9.99 when you enroll at affluentartist.com. All right. Also, we have a partnership with Afterpay, Affirm, and Klarna. So you can get started for as little as $47.96 a month when you join at affluentartist.com. All right. I don't see any other questions. So we're going to get up out of here. We're excited. Congratulations to all the new artists that enroll. Make sure you check your email for your receipt and your welcome email. Okay. So get access to everything. Okay. Any event, it goes to the spam folder. Please move that to your primary inbox. If for whatever reason you don't get it, just send a text or an email to our team and we'll take care of you. Okay. If you need help ordering, text join to 470-777-7549. I don't see any other questions. So I'm going to get up out of here, man. This is always fun. I love doing these. I hope you got at least one takeaway that's going to help you grow your art career and grow your art brand. All right. Whether it was secret one, using those art stories to have your art really start to sell itself because you get an emotional connection with the collector. Secret number two, using artwork and accessing the global marketplace of collectors who got their credit card on file that can buy with one click. Or secret number three, man, targeting those high income collectors with Instagram ads so we can put our art in front of collectors that's already spending millions. All right, man, use the wisdom, use the game. We would love to have you in our community by enrolling at affluentartist.com and becoming an affluent artist. But just make sure that you take an action, man, that you stand on top of all this wisdom and the new things that's happening with selling your art online. Okay. So again, one last recap. Join today, man. Get access to the Affluent Artist Masterclass. Get access to that Artwork Gold account. Become a member of the Affluent Artist community. Get these 3 powerful bonuses as well. You're going to get that luxury pricing method to show you how to raise your price and charge your worth. You're going to get that automated collector system. So you got a system that brings you collectors 24/7 on autopilot. Miss Anitra got over 500 new interested collector leads in just 25 days. I was really blown away by her results. And then also, you're going to be able to find your collectors with me. I'm going to show you step by step how to set up your Instagram art ads and how to target those collectors that are already spending millions on art. Okay. So it's a total value of over $10,600. And you can join for a special 94% off for $9.99 when you enroll at affluentartist.com. All right. And again, we also got partnerships with Afterpay, Affirm, and Klarna. You can get started for as little as $47.96 per month. All right. So peace and much love. I don't see any other questions. We're going to start serving all the artists that just joined. Man, y'all have a wonderful night, and we look forward to seeing you on the inside. Okay.